Hi everyone, my name is Stephanie Braley. This is my presentation for our discussion board this week. You have to excuse my voice, I'm a bit stuffed up, I'm not feeling well, but that's that. So the career I want to pursue is I want to become a clinical psychologist who specializes with children, either that or a family and marriage psychologist, but basically, a clinical psychologist treats mental, emotional, and behavioral disorders. These disorders can range anywhere from short-term conditions to a long-term condition. They can either work with a specific problem or with a specific group of individuals. If I don't end up specializing with children, I'd want to pursue specializing in treating clinical depression. So the required education for this is pretty extensive because most of the time it requires you to get a doctorate. But first you have to complete a bachelor's in psychology, and most graduate schools require that. And that's the most required. That's like the most preferred path is like attending a graduate school and pursuing a doctoral degree, because you can practice with a master's, just you'll always be under a supervision. So if you don't want that, pursue a doctorate. You can either obtain a PhD or a PsyD in clinical psychology. I currently am leaning more towards a PsyD because I don't want to be a researcher. I don't want that aspect of it. It's not what interests me. And if you're like me pursuing clinical psychology or counseling or anything like that, you're most likely going to be required to complete a 1-year internship in your field of study. So I would have to complete an internship in the clinical setting. In relation to my 4-year plan in regards to my education, so far I am following my 4-year plan. That's basically my plan at the moment, is my 4-year plan. My 4-year plan will lead me to complete my bachelor's in psychology, which is a step prior to attending graduate school, unless I wish to obtain a master's, which I currently do not wish to do that, but that is an option. So yeah, currently my education follows my 4-year plan I have mapped out of obtaining a bachelor's and then pursuing a doctorate. So the reason I chose to major in psychology, there's a lot of reasons. I've always wanted to pursue a career in it. I always found it very interesting to me, and it's just something that's always been a desire of mine. And I really like kids and working with kids, and so that's why I'd want to pursue a clinical psychology position specializing in children. Like I said, it interests me, and I feel like it's a major I can learn a lot from, and it'll help me in whatever field I choose to do, whether it is psychology or another field. I feel like it will still benefit me. I've also thought about becoming a social worker, but I'm just currently starting as a psychology major and see where that takes me. And then in comparison to the text that we have, my reasons are pretty similar to the text, because most students take it because they have strong interest in the subject matter of psychology, or because they want to become a professional psychologist, or a bachelor's will prepare them for a job, or they want to become a social worker. So my reasons are pretty similar to that. So yeah.